And on the phone, I've got Matt Hendricks from Hendricks Consultant, who's the organisational psychologist for a project that is called Helping Hands. Matt, tell me a little bit about Helping Hands.
Yeah, hi, Norma. Helping Hands is essentially a team-building activity where corporations or not-for-profit organisations get their employees or members to get together in a group and build prosthetic hands that then get sent over to landmine victims overseas. So they're physically building something that's going to change lives overseas.
Because there are so many landmine victims, aren't there?
Yeah, that's right. There's 300,000 landmine-related amputees in the world today, in the developing world. It's a number that astonishes most people that I tell, because I think that a lot of us felt like when Princess Diana was around, we heard about landmines all the time, and we kind of thought that the landmine issue was done and dusted when all of these countries signed a non-proliferation agreement around landmines. But the reality is there's still over 100 million landmines in the ground right now active that the UN estimates with today's technology it would take 1,000 years, and you didn't miss here, it's 1,000 years to get rid of all of those landmines. So right now there's every 20 minutes there's a different landmine-related accident, and a lot of those people that are victims of landmines actually end up losing a limb. So that's what this particular program's all about.
And I see where it says in 2 hours a group of people can assemble 30 pieces of plastic, making that a hand?
Yeah. They first look at it and they get a bit overwhelmed. We make it even more difficult. We actually like all of our participants to go on the journey of a landmine victim as well. So we actually bind their good hand. If they're right-handed, we bind their right hand. We then make them work one-handed in groups of 3, and they start off freaking out thinking, oh no, I've never put together IKEA furniture. How am I going to build a prosthetic hand that's actually going to be used by someone and be functional? But they get through it in 2 hours. They also decorate the container that hand goes in, and we take a picture of that container along with the group, and we put that picture in and share it with the recipient. And the recipient can physically see the 3 human faces that made that hand and took time out of their life to do it.
It's incredible. So it's basically the hand, and then how does it actually work? I mean, wouldn't it not have to have other things done to it?
Yeah, it's interesting. If you had this kind of issue and were on the market for a prosthesis in Brisbane or Townsville, the starting price for these things tends to be about $3,000 a pop, and they can go up to $70,000. Prostheses are amazing these days, and you can get all sorts of robotic things that link into nerves and what have you, and are really very functional. The issue is that we can't solve the problem of 300,000 people in the developing world with a $70,000 prosthesis. So this particular prosthesis was specifically designed to be very functional, simple and strong, but also very cheap to put together, and really fit for purpose. All it actually does is it can grip and then it can release things. And you use another hand or a flat surface to help grip or release. It's difficult to describe on the radio, I guess you'll appreciate, but there's lots of things on YouTube. If you look up Helping Hands, people will be able to see the way these things work.
Fantastic. And you were just telling me that you were up in Bundaberg just recently.
Yeah, amazing. And I really feel for what they're all going through at the moment with the floods and then trying to recover from that. I got out a couple of days before the flood started. I was up there on the 23rd with St Luke's Anglican School up there, and all of the teachers and ground staff and other administrative staff all got together for a PD day, and they built 40 hands and amongst 100 and something staff, and it was just an amazing experience, but really exciting that a school kind of wanted to get involved in that way.
And so if there was somebody up here that wanted to get involved, how would they go about that?
Best way would be to Google our name, Hendricks Consulting, or Google Helping Hands Program, and look for one of our links. We're the only ones that distribute the activity in Australia. I wouldn't want to undercook the benefits that corporates get from being involved in this. It isn't just a charity exercise. People that participate in that activity normally experience a level of engagement in this work for that 2 hours than they, more so than that experience all year. And just that experience and being able to talk about how it felt to be engaged in purpose-driven work and talk talking about how that relates back to their day job and things. That is just normally such a amazing paradigm-shifting kind of conversation for people. So I guess that's the only other thing I'd want to leave your listeners with is that it isn't just a charity exercise, but it's a pretty valuable exercise for corporates to get involved in.
It certainly is. And you were saying you've still got so many to do before the end of June?
Yeah, it's really exciting. So we only got started on this seriously in February or March in 2012. We've already made 375 hands. We've got, including those plus the ones we've got ordered, we'll have 505 built by the end of June, but that's just on today's orders. So we've got what we call in the game a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal that we want to build 1,000 hands by the end of 2013. And I'm quietly confident that we're going to smash that goal. So I'm really hoping that more people get involved.
I'm sure they will be, Mark. And as you said, the best thing to do is to Google Helping Hands and find out a little bit more about it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Thank